there, I'm Heather from Here She Grows. Just wanted to talk to you briefly about my pruners. I have some Felco No. 2s here. Kind of expensive, so typically I wouldn't treat them this badly, but last year I forgot to clean them before I put them away. It was kind of a mad rush. Things got really cold really fast on Halloween of all days, so I was really hustling to get things done and then kind of forgot about them for the whole winter. And then I took them out the other day to do a little pruning in the backyard and was pretty disgusted with the state I left them in. So this first segment, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to clean them to get the rust off. So I don't know, I'm going to get a little closer and you can see the rust in the hinge here as well as on the mechanism. And the blade's pretty gnarly too. I haven't sharpened it, so there's a few chinks in the armor, but I'll take care of that later. So for now, I'm going to just use some good old vinegar. I've got a mason jar here. I'm simply going to set these in the mason jar. Vinegar. And pour it in so everything's completely submerged in there. I'm covering all the rusty parts. And then I'm just going to let it sit for 24 hours so that vinegar can work its magic. It's acidic, so it'll start wearing away that rust. And then I can get in there with a little wire brush and start getting that stuff off, and then start getting really detailed with maybe a little bit of a scrubbing pad to get everything off and try to return them to as new as possible. I'll also be sharpening it. So this is the first segment. I'll come back tomorrow after 24 hours. These have soaked. So the pruners and the file have been soaking overnight here in vinegar. So it hasn't been exactly 24 hours, but I'm going to show you exactly what's falling off of here. I'm going to give this a stir real quick and you can see all the rust that's come off my pruners. All right, so I'm going to start cleaning these guys, and you can see there's a lot of rust bits that have come off of these Felco pruners. So I'm going to wash them in some soapy water. I've also got a scrub brush for this to get off everything that's in the mechanism and all that. I mean, it's pretty gross, but okay, so now I'm moving on to the final step of taking care of my pruners. Finally, I found a set of files. The file that I originally had was kind of cumbersome because it was too long. So I looked online and I found this product from a company called EZE-Lap here in the United States. They have different size files, different lengths, different grits. So think of it much like you would it's sanding paper, except these are diamond files. So I ordered a pack of 3. Came in a pack. There was 3 of these guys, and I have a medium grit, a fine grit, and a super fine. So what I'm going to do is start with the medium grit, and the medium grit is going to remove all the nicks and the dings from the blade. So it really depends on how neglected the surfaces that you're trying to sharpen, how many passes you're going to make. So, but you want to make sure you're going with the direction of the blade, the slant of the blade. So I've got this medium grit. And I really like this because they're only about 6 inches long and they fit perfectly in your hand. So they're a plastic handle with the diamond grit pad on the end of it. So I'm going to make several passes until I feel like it's enough. So I'll just keep going. And I have a little ding in the end of my blade. So I'm going to just keep going with this and make sure I'm going in the direction of the blade and passing over it. You don't want to be scrubbing at it. You don't want to do that. You just want to make a nice, take those little notches off that end of the blade and go in the direction. I'm not going to file the bottom part of the blade because that's the bypass area. I will run over just gently to get any little dings off of that, but you're not filing that part. You're just filing the blade. So I'm going to go over this. I start with the medium grit, which is my roughest grit. So I think this is 400 grit. So if you were thinking of it like sandpaper, it's a 400 grit for the medium, 600 grit for the fine, and a 1200 for the super fine. So I'm going to work my way down, start with the medium, filing in the direction of the blade, and then I'm going to go down to the fine and continue that way and going at that angle I'm not going back and forth. I'm just going with the shape of the blade. And this is really nice because I didn't want to take apart my pruners because I was afraid of not being able to put them back together right. Like a part would be missing or something. So this smaller blade allows me to really get in there and file the entire blade surface. And then you can finish with super fine if you want to really fine tune it and pass over it several times. And that's really all that it takes. So the most important thing is you want to make sure that you're going with the angle of the blade, and you don't want to be scrubbing it back and forth. You just want to be nice, smooth motion with the blade. My final step, I'm going to oil everything. I use a 3-in-1 oil. I think everybody's probably got this. If you don't have this, you can use like a WD-40. Both products work fine. So I'm going to oil this up, and I should have some wicked sharp pruners. Again, so I'll have to be very careful. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this has simplified it. I've taken you through the rust removal process, cleaning it, washing, and then finally filing that blade. So I should have some really nice tools. It's really nice when you have tools that are sharpened too. It makes work in the garden so much easier to get nice clean cuts on branches. It's easier on your hand so that you're not having to constantly squeeze to rip that branch off. So now I finally got some sharper pruner, and hopefully I won't let go this long again before caring for them. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, everybody.